do find is that that's what the Reiki energy can actually do, is help me align with it and align with it within myself, so I can flow more, stay with more stability. Because it's, it's so interesting with Saturn being, contraction, restriction, like you say, regulation, Uranus, expansion, Jupiter, expansion. I mean, it's really, it is an astonishing time. This is an astonishing change.
It is. It's so powerful. And I think that's why it's important for us to first kind of go into that stillness right before we enter. It's like this sacred threshold that we're about to step over into. Because this is the end of a 200-year cycle as well. So we're entering into a whole new element. So Saturn and Jupiter come together every 20 years in a sign. And so the last one was back in 2000, and then back in 1980, and then 1960. And it's been interesting that it's always been on a 0 year, right? So if we were to look at 1980, Saturn and Jupiter came together in the sign of Libra, which is an air sign. That was the first time it was an air sign. And then in 2000, it was in Taurus. And now it's 2020 and it's in Aquarius. So for the past 40 years, we've been in this hybrid phase where we've been merging and mixing two elements. So take, for example, the exchange of money, which is a very earthy thing, right? Back in 1980, I can remember going to the drive-through bank, and my mom would get the deposit and then get some money back, and we get this little envelope that came through a tube, and we would get the envelope out, and she would count the cash money, or we would go in and talk to the teller, and we would, put the deposit slip under the little window, and we would get the money back. It was a very physical, tangible experience. And we held the money in our hands, right? I can remember these memories as a child. So in this past 40-year period, as we've been kind of blending these energies, think about how we exchange money nowadays. Like how often you actually touch it. Or
it depends on your age group.
Right.
How often do I write a check?
Right. It could be just a chime that you hear on your phone. I love that sound. It's like my favorite sound. When you hear the chime on your phone, it's like cha-ching. Yes, that's wonderful, But it's like an app. And people will, and you have so many options, and you can see the growth, from the time that I was talking about in the 80s to then using the ATM machine, and that was new. Remember when that was new? You put your card in and money came out. That was a development. That was like a progress. And then it became, oh, well, do you have PayPal? No, what's PayPal? I don't know what PayPal is. And now it's like you got a choice. You can do Cash App, you can do Venmo, you can do, you have so many options of how you can just transfer funds without ever really seeing the person. And that wasn't really the way it went before. So you can see the airiness of it, right? You can see how we've really moved into this kind of air element.
Literally, it transmits through the air.
Yes.